people of YouTube. So yeah, welcome back, and yeah, what crazy and weird stuff have I got today? So yeah, payday came, and I decided to, as normal, have a peruse on the old Japanese eBay and see what stuff I would like. So basically, I went and bidded on a couple of things that I really wanted, and then I just put some random bids on a lot of things, and I thought I wasn't going to win them, and I flipping did. So because of that, I have now got 3 huge boxes of stuff from Japan. So yeah, so this is from Yamatoko Classic. So this is basically the seller that's on eBay, and he must sell a couple of hundred things, 100-200 things a day on there, mainly through bids rather than buy it nows, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I thought I'd do this a little bit different. I'm going to do an actual unboxing and show you what it's like to open one of these packages. You're not going to have to feel the pain of customs like I did. Unfortunately, a lot of this stuff is very low value. In fact, 2 boxes is probably worth about £15. However, how he's done the price invoice, customs has killed me, and postage was bad enough, but never mind. But yeah, anyway, gonna drown my sorrows. I've got myself a nice crazy weird beer called Liquid Flamingo, which is a raspberry Berliner Weiss. Yeah, so I've been drinking this, preparing myself for the inevitable of opening these boxes. So yeah, cheers. So let's have a look. Let's have a randomize. Let's randomize it. What I'm going to do, I think, because there is going to be a lot of stuff. I don't know if this is random. I've got 1 long one and 2 square ones. So what I'll do is I'll open we'll open a square one first. And what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to split this over 2 videos, because I think this might be quite a long one. So right, first up, we'll get rid of this. Here's my customs charge, and what we'll do is we'll slice open it with some scissors, because safety first and all that. Yeah, so what have I got? So basically, what I think is going to be in these boxes, I think there's going to be 1 tasty thing, and then a lot of Famicom carts. So yeah, what I bought the games that I wanted, and I usually like add a few things in there just to like kind of bulk it up, so it makes it feel a bit worth paying customs if I did. And basically I got a load of Famicom carts. Basically he was selling them for like bundles of 5 or 6, and I just put loads of bids on a load that were interesting to me. Like honestly, he must have had about 500-600 a day up there, maybe around that, probably about 500 different carts, and a lot of them had repeat carts in them. A lot of them were RPGs in them, so I tried to get ones that interested me. Oh, we've got a good one to start with. Let's say that. So yeah, what I'm going to do, I'm going to split things in half, and let's see what comes out of there, and see what I remember what some of these cartridges are, because I don't remember what a lot of it is. So yeah, so basically it's just loads of wrapping, bit of Japanese newspaper, and then a big stack of carts like this. So put that down like that. That looks pretty cool, all colourful like that. Some of them got end labels on, some of them don't, and they don't come like that, I don't think. So we'll see what the condition of all these are. As I say, see what I remember. What I'll do as well, I'll probably put a name of what these are underneath. A lot of them, people will know what they are. It's not like they're not totally Japanese and crazy. Where did I put them scissors? There we are. They're not totally Japanese and crazy, although some of them are very Japanese. However, I do know what a lot of them are. Let's say I've watched a lot of YouTube, so I've strayed into Japanese stuff quite a lot. So he's kept them in the bundles, so that's pretty cool. So you'll be able to see how I bought them. So let's open the first one. Right then, so I've got a nice bundle of black ones here. So they're all black cartridges. They've got end labels on them. So let's get them up. So top of it, we've got Door. How do I know that? I don't know. As I say, I did look what a few of these were. I've heard of Door before. I think I played it on one of them dodgy Nintendo. Everything's out of sync at the moment. My phone's absolutely dying at the moment. But yeah, so this is basically you open up doors, close doors behind. A bit like, sort of like, well, Mario Hotel and some of them other games like that. Except very early on. So if it's got a date on, some of these cartridges have dates on them. 1985, flipping heck. So what's that? 34 years old this game is. So yeah, very early Famicom game, but one that's really cool to have. And oh Jesus, what is this game? Birthday Namco. So it's a Namco game. Namco, not Namcot, what they usually call them in Japan. I think this is an RPG, but as I say, you couldn't pick and choose your games. It was all in bundles of 5 or 6. So yes, this is an RPG that I'm not too sure. It's got a nice end label and everything like that on it, so that's maybe cool to have. As I say, I'll put gameplay up there, so if it's not that, then it is cool to have. So I think this is the game that kind of, well, no, there's 2 games here that really sold it to me, and there's a 3rd game that's pretty cool, but I think it might be a double. Anyway, flipping waffling on. So the game that really interested me was Zombie Hunter, and I just like the name of it. I'm not gonna lie, but I looked online and it looks basically like a Zelda 2 style RPG, but with a bit more mechanics, a bit more RPG style mechanics. So hopefully, I think this might be playable in English a little bit, but if not, I mean, look at that cool little cover. That's cool. So yeah, and one I can read. And now this is one that, I mean, it's sort of like an NES classic, isn't it, really? In fact, I think there was in Japan, I think this was re-released on the GBA as the classic. And even though it's not a Nintendo game, I'm sure, yeah, it's another Namco game as well. What is the difference in Japan? What was the difference between Namco and Namcot? Yes, I'm looking at you, Craig, because you probably know. But yeah, anyway, the game in question is Xevious. So if you don't know what Xevious is, I mean, what are you watching my channel for? I mean, everyone knows what Xevious is. It's one of the early shooters. Is it a good game? Yeah, it's not bad. It's pretty good. But yeah, it's another one with the end labels on. What can you say? Look, I can't say too much because we need to keep going because we've got flipping loads of them. And the second game that interested me, that made me want to get this bundle, is Rolling Thunder, which is another Namco game. So I think all of these are Namco games. So that's pretty cool. Now this is what I said earlier, Namcot. So what's the difference between Namco and Namcot? But yeah, another one with an end label on it. So yeah, I've never played the NES version of this one, so I don't know what it's going to be like, but I used to love this on Amiga, and randomly playing it on the arcades. I didn't really play it in the arcades too much, to be honest. But yeah, another nice one to get. So that was one bundle. So as I say, that cost me £1.55 for them, plus postage and customs. So I think it worked out just under £1.50 a game, all these, in the end, with all the postage and all the customs added onto it. So you really can't grumble at that kind of a price, really. I mean, if you was to get them anywhere else in England, it would probably cost a little bit more. So next bundle, we've got a few different colours here. Well, I think this one's a pretty cool one to get. Oh my goodness. I thought I slid it open, but never mind. Right, so was this a bad idea doing a live opening? Should I have done it differently? I don't know. It's kind of cool to see what each one it was. I think, as I say, there was probably 2 of these bundles that cost me £2, and the rest were like £1.55, I think it was. So what is this? Atlantis. So it's a Sunsoft game called Atlantis. I can't remember what this is. I think this might be just some kind of a, not quite a run and gun shooter. I think it might even be an RPG, this one. But again, as I say, I will put it on the side over there. Now, this is one of the games that I wanted. It's not a great game by any mean. The sequel on the Super Famicom is, I think it's a sequel anyway. It looks very similar box art. But yeah, Macross for the Famicom. Now, what I've read about this, well, seen about this, I've kind of known about this before, is it's quite a competent shooter. However, it just loops itself. So you've only really got like 1 or 2 levels, and then you're playing the same thing again, and there's no end game to it, which really lets it down. And it's a pretty cool little cover, I think. It looks pretty cool, and yeah, I will enjoy playing it. So yes, I don't know if anyone knows, but I don't actually have a Famicom. However, talking about the playing, you see, how I'll be playing this will be through the Retro Freak. So pretty cool console to be playing things. So I can play this big screen. I can even play this in English if I so wished. So what is this game? I don't know, see if anyone knows what this is. This is is it Final Fantasy? Yeah, Final Fantasy 3. Final Fantasy 3 this is. I'm trying to make myself look cleverer, but I'm like not really sure myself. So yeah, so this is one of the original Final Fantasies. This is how it used to come back in the day before Final Fantasy 7 came out. So, oh, what is this game? I've forgotten what this is now. This is a game I think is pretty good. I think it's like a side. It's something that we have over in this country. I can't remember what it is. Again, it'll be around here, and I'll put a title across there. See if I can see. It's a Konami game, obviously, as you can see, and I can't remember what this one is now. Gutted, but that Macross one was pretty good in the bundle. But this is what I wanted in it. Again, not a great game, but I think what I paid for all of that was probably paid for this one cartridge alone anyway, and that is Transformers for the Famicom. Why did we not get this over here? The Mystery of Convoy, as again, this is a bit of a side-scrolling like run and gun, and then it goes into a little bit of a shooter. I think you can transform on the fly between the two. There is another Transformers game as well on the Famicom, and that one actually looks really good. Now I've started getting a bit of a Famicom collection, I might actually go and get it. So yeah, next up, yeah, this is gonna be a big video if I did all these 3 boxes. So yeah, I'm gonna split this up. So bad enough having to listen to me waffle on for like so flipping long anyway. Right, so next up we've got starting to get into a bit more colourful stuff now. Right, I've never heard of this game before, and I just know it's called something Wedding. So this is sort of like a side-scrolling platformer, like I think it goes on multiple levels like that. In fact, it is, because this is one of the, I mean, this is what's cool about Famicom games, all like completely different from each other. And it's quite interesting. It's got like the publisher name there. I don't know if you can quite see. Oh my goodness, this phone is going really slow. And then on the back, it's actually got the artwork on it. The artwork on it, the gameplay screens on it. And I suppose if you could read Japanese, it would probably tell you a little bit about it, which is pretty cool. Obviously, it must have been, what is it? If this got a release date on it? 1986. I was going to say, I wonder if it was like a later release one, and they realised that people were buying stuff loose more and more. But no. Next up, we have got Challenger. Now, what is this? I did look at this earlier, and I can't remember what it is. It's a game, and it'll be under here what it's really called, and a little box there to see if anyone's actually interested in what it is. So what have I got this lot for? I've got it for these 3 games. So first up, Mickey Mouse. So this is, I think, if I'm not mistaken, a Capcom game. No, this is a Hudson Soft game. Sorry, Hudson Soft game. It's got a strange sticker on the back there. It does look like it's supposed to be in there because there's sort of like an indent there. But yeah, this came out in America. It didn't come out in PAL territories. and it's Mickey. I think it's just called Mickey Mouse. Which, yeah, pretty interesting game. I think it did come out on Capcom over in America, but it came out, I think it must have been made by Hudson Soft. So, not the best of games, I've been told, but to be honest, what I've seen of it, it doesn't look too bad. Obviously not the pinnacle of the old Disney games. And how can you have a Famicom collection without having good old Super Mario Brothers? So yeah, I mean, I'm actually quite impressed. A lot of these are in good condition. There's a couple that are a bit grubby. This one, as you can see, great condition, even with my dodgy flipping camera. And next up, a staple of PC gaming back in the olden days. I'm not too sure if this came out on like the Spectrum or anything like that, but basically I really enjoy this kind of gameplay. It's sort of like a RP, sort of like a bit like a Gauntlet, but like 2D, I suppose, like where it's a bit mazy, and it's more of a platformer rather than over the top like run around sort of thing. So you need to get keys to progress where you're going basically and fight things along the way. So a bit like an RPG, like a platforming RPG. And enough of the waffling. What game it is? The Tower of Draga. So yeah, I think this is quite a well-known game, even if you're not a Famicom like sort of lover or knower. So yeah, really cool to have. And the last bundle in this box, we've got another colourful lot here. So what have we got? Right, so not the best games, and we've got a double. We're already on to a double. So first up, we've got one of the last, I think, is this the last game that came out in America and PAL territories? This is Yoshi's Cookie. So 1992 this came out. It tells me that I'm not that clever to remember something like that. But I don't know if it's the last Famicom game, but I think it's pretty much the last one of them. So this is a puzzle game. Again, it'll be there. I've got myself a lot of editing to go through here. And this is, I think a lot of people might know what this is. Very cool, cute graphic cartridge here, nice pink one, my favourite colour. A little bit grubby, it needs a bit of a wipe down really. And the game in question is Binary Land. So I'm pretty certain this game is, you've got two penguins and I think you control them independently or something like, so not independently, so if you press down they both go down, and if you go right they both go right. However, you've got two different mazes on each side of the screen, and basically if you go right, one will probably get stuck on a wall and the other one will keep going right, and so on and so forth. So a very cool, interesting puzzle game. If I remember, I can't remember, I didn't look this one up actually, but it's just one I'm pretty certain I remember from all the days of like researching Famicom games that I never thought I'd get, and now I've got flipping loads of them. And another staple Konami game. Is it a Konami game? I'm pretty certain it is. Yeah, another Konami game. One of the first ones, not just on Famicom, and that is Puyan. Is it Puyan? I'm making it sound like I know what I'm talking about, but I really don't. Yeah, so Puyan. So this is basically sort of like you go up and down, and I think you're shooting like animals with balloons, and yeah, an early game that had no rhyme or reason. So I need to get a drink here. And this is why I should know what this game is, because it's another duplicate, and it's that Challenger again. So I'll put the video back up again. So as I say, there is some doubles on here. I think I've got someone in mind. In fact, I'll put that over there so I know it's a double. And what is this? Oh, I know what this is, and I've already got this on the actual American NES. It didn't come out in PAL territories, but it came in America. Anyone know what it is? Yeah, so this is Mylan's Secret Castle. So pretty cool one to have. I might pass this one on to someone else. As I say, I have got the English version. I don't know if there is. I'll have a quick go on it to see if there's a difference between this one and the American and the Japanese. Don't think there is really. So if not, I've got someone in mind that might have that. And so that's all the Famicom games in that box. So as I say, got something decent as well. And what have I got? Jesus Christ, I'm so happy with this. Axelay on the Super Famicom. Oh my word. Look at, I mean, the condition of that is absolutely spanking. Colours are so vibrant on it. And yeah, so happy to get that. This should have been like an end of video, like, whoa, look what I've got. But yeah, no, I mean, I'm really pleased with all of this, to be honest. All games that are playable, and I will play, I mean, except for maybe Final Fantasy and maybe a couple of others. But all in all, the value of all this is great. So what I'm going to do, another box, I'm going to rip this open. Taking that off. Ugh, ripping it up. So I'm going to go halfway through this one, and then we're going to cut it off, and then we're going to go. I'm going to make another video, just so it doesn't drag out too long. So if anyone wants to know what's in there, it's just loads of bubble wrap and newspapers. So if you get stuff from these guys in the future, or if you have in the past, you will know that that's how they put everything together. So yeah, that's another juicy game. So the last box really has not got the best game. So what I'll do is, because the best game completely was that, actually, hands down the best game. So yeah, I'm going to go halfway, split these Famicom games in half, and then we're going to split the video. And I'm going to stop. So, alright, another colourful lot of cartridges. That's what I like about them. I did talk to Sean, Retro Games Revived, and he mentioned that I was getting a load of these, and he says, why would you want them for? They all look like copies. So, right, first up, another one of the Konami games, early games, which is Antarctic Adventure. So, I mean, yeah, a little bit grubby and everything. I'm not too sure if it's suffering from the same fate as the Atari 2600 games do, where there's a bit of glue residue, and I think it's just rubbish, to be honest. So yeah, so I think if I remember correctly, this is, you're basically a penguin just sliding along a load of ice, jumping over a load of logs, and it's supposedly a lot better than you think. I'm thinking that's what it is. So next up we've got Nuts and Milk. So this is one of the this is, I'm pretty certain this is the Japanese version of a black box game with this logo on, if everyone knows what a black box game. So one of the early games, Hudson Soft, again, I think it's a single screen sort of platformer game, if I remember correctly. Hang on, what to be honest, I think this is just one that I just was interested in, but I just put a random bid in because it was so cheap. This is probably the best game out of the bunch. I did watch Game Dave do a video about it, saying it was not too bad. A bit of a weird game, and that game is Filthy. And it's it doesn't say there, but what's it called? Birdland or something like that. Again, I'll put the name down there, especially if I'm wrong. And basically, you're a bird getting like food to feed the other baby birds. It's sort of like a shooter without shooting, I think. And it looks pretty cool. I am interested to play that one. So yeah, Toe Milland made it. Yeah. So next up we've got a couple of actual black box, well, what we got over here is black box games. This one, I think if you was to get it as a box game, it costs about 100 odd quid. I used to have it loose before, I never had the box version of it, and that is Clue Land. So this is a really weird one where you kind of like spin around like poles to like get coins, and then, or do you get coins or do you put coins down? And basically you make a little shape, and then you can continue. But you got that sounds really simple, but then you've got like enemies stopping you where you're doing. A bit of like, yeah, a very arcadey style game, and this one's just terrible. Urban Champion. I've played these games back in the day. Yeah, it's a really poor one-on-one fighting game where you basically got 3 screens. I think you start off in the middle and you're basically trying to push the other one to the end. So you, like, again, like you can see there, they fall off and then die, and that's you win. It's instead of having your health. So next up we have got some colourful, well, grey and white, cream black. Yeah, I forgot to mention as well, them cartridges there, they definitely need a bit of a clean with a bit of alcohol rub or something like that. They're not like, they look like oldly worn on for a long time. I mean, some of these games are like 30 years old. Right, so next up we have got a Gundam, I think it's SD Gundam 2, I can't remember. I'm pretty certain this is a platforming game, I'm not too sure. I don't know if you can hear that, but it sounds a bit loose. Hopefully that'll work, but I'm sure it will do, because it's just, you just need to make sure the board's there, and it looks quite good condition other than the looseness to it. So yeah, it looks like, I mean, if you look at it, it looks like an old cassette tape, doesn't it really? But I suppose that's why a lot of people call them Nintendo cassettes. Pretty cool to have. Next up we've got another double, which is Xevious. So yeah, I say there is some doubles in there. These are pretty cool games to have actually. These are ones that I wanted. So next up we've got Commando for the Famicom. So I don't know if this is called Famicom, but it's Commando, but it's called The Way to Victory. So pretty cool, but it is Commando. So really cool one to have. Next up, this looks like a fake game. So Sean, you are right, it does look bloody fake, but it's not. And the game in question is Dragon Ninja. So this is, yeah, it sounds like Dragon Ninja, but we have got it as Bad Dudes versus Dragon Ninja, where you rescue Ronald Reagan at the end. Is it? I'm sure that's this game, isn't it? I think that must have had a label on the top because it's kind of got an indent on it, which is a bit of a shame. But again, as I say, all these cost like 150, 155, I think. So cannot complain. And next up, well, last up, we have got Magmax. So this is, if I remember correctly, another. I can't remember if you transform in this, or if you just like this guy here, but yeah, it's another space shooter. So totally up my street, totally pleased to have this. Is that the guy's address there? That someone wrote something on down there, so that might be some Japanese address somewhere. 4T25 and then loads of symbols. But yeah, again, cool to have. Don't think it's the best game, but for the price I paid for this whole bundle, yeah, it's good. It's good to me. Right, so that's halfway through there. Let's cut this off now, and yeah, I'll make another one, and I'll see you guys next week for the rest of this own opening. If I've not bored you, that is. Anyway, so see you later. Bye.